Okay, in this video we're going to talk about how to set up a basic walkthrough, and in the end what your walkthrough for your kitchen is going to look like is something similar to the video playing currently. This is a student class project from 2012, and we're going to move a walkthrough into your kitchen space, looking at some of the rooms around the kitchen. The three renderings that you'll send up to Autodesk the cloud. To create the renderings, we'll embed these, as you can see in the video here, and have three renderings embedded plus the walkthrough, background music, and also opening and closing credits. So we'll get to the walkthrough right now. We'll go ahead and I'll pause out of this and minimize. And now I'm going to start setting up how to build a walkthrough in Revit. So I'm set up right now on my first floor plan, and you can see all my notation and everything on this plan is pretty cluttered, but once I get into my walkthrough I'm really not going to see a whole lot of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go set up here. I'm going to go to my view tab, and I'm going to go ahead and set up pull down my 3D view, and what I'm going to select is this button for walkthrough. And once I do that, I'm going to select the button from walkthrough, and I'm going to move my cursor back to where I want to start my first walkthrough, and I'm going to go ahead and click and then start pulling in a direction where I want to start moving to. All right, and then I'm going to click to the second position. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually setting up the path that I'm going to use, and you kind of see how my cursor moves back and forth here. The what looks to be this kind of triad, like a Y with a line in the middle and an X at the end. The middle line is the view, and then the two lines, it's sort of your peripheral vision, if you will. And anytime that I click with my left and I come forward, it drops a movement point. Okay, and that's a place where you could actually turn your head or move the camera back and forth in the walkthrough. So as I start coming into the walkthrough, any place that I think I might want to do that, I'm going to click. And as I do this, I'm going to kind of go ahead and click. The more you click, the more points you add to the walkthrough. Now, by doing this, you can always add additional points. And you can also take points away. But by adding the points, those points are now there for you to be able to utilize. So what I'm going to do is I'm just adding points, kind of moving my way around this particular drawing here. And I'm even thinking about being able to see some of this stuff moving backwards, not necessarily always walking forwards, okay? And we'll show you some of that stuff. So as I'm coming in here, I'm clicking. The only thing that I don't really want to do is make things too terribly tight. And this is going to look pretty darn tight. We're going to keep moving, and then we'll end up walking out through this mudroom door and then moving away from the house. Now, some of this I'm going to end up doing backwards in the walkthrough. So once I get out here into the end of my walkthrough, I'm going to go ahead and right-click and then cancel. And now I have a walkthrough. And I think you can also hit enter and you get the same thing. But this is now my walkthrough, and this is my path. And now I want to start seeing, okay, I want to edit this path and work with this path. So I'm going to hit this edit walkthrough button. And then what happens is my cursor, the end of my walkthrough, gets a little tiny camera. That little tiny camera can be then dragged to and from these little points that I made. Those little points that I make are actually places where I can then grab the actual view and turn what I'm looking at. Now you might say, wow, it's going to be really useful if I could actually see what I'm looking at when I'm walking through. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually open the walkthrough. So now this is the true view of the walkthrough. Then I'm going to go ahead and set up my view, and I'm going to close everything else that's hidden. And I'm going to open back up my level 1 floor plan, and then I'm going to tile the two of them so that I can see my level 1 floor plan, and then I can also see my walkthrough. Now, this is what I'm truly seeing. So I'm actually going to set this up so I can see this in a shaded view. And then over here, this is my walkthrough. So if I then select the walkthrough itself, hit edit walkthrough, and I'm going to actually go ahead and move my camera back to my start. And then this updates. So you can now see my front door. That's where I'm looking at for my front door. And I'm actually going to move my look tool to kind of look down a little bit. Or if I want to turn around, I can see the front porch, look back and forth, but that's the front door. So this is how you can start editing a walkthrough. So with this setup, I'm going to then come back into here, zoom in, and I know I'm going to walk through the front door, so I'm going to advance the camera to the other side of the door. Now when I'm on this side of the door, I'm going to come up and going from one window to the other, make sure you click on this top bar. If you click in the view, it's going to give you an error that says, do you want to quit your walkthrough? No, I don't. Click here, click here. Be very specific about where you're clicking in order. No, I don't. Come on, why is this doing this to me? See if I can turn my view this way. Yep, that updates. Okay. I'm going to turn my view back this way a little bit more so I can see into the room. Then I'm going to come and move forward. Now I'm looking at that door. I really don't want to look straight at that door, so I'm going to keep moving this view this way a little bit more because I want to see into this room. Then I want to sort of advance to this point. As I get to this point, the ceiling is open in here, so I definitely want to kind of look this way. But over in this view, I should be able to take, and I should be able to edit and then be able to look up. So what I think I might need to do here, well, it doesn't seem like it's letting me do that. So yes, I think I have to do this and re-edit in here. And now I want to start looking up to see the height in this room. And then we'll X out of here, come over here, make an advancement. And what you need to see is it is something that you're going to have to kind of play with and work your way through. Now as I come this way, I think I might start doing sort of a sweeping turn this way a little bit more. Keep coming, sweep this way, keep coming, sweep this way. So I can start to look back at the kitchen here very soon. So now I can start to see into the kitchen. And then I can start working forward again. But I think I want to keep looking at the kitchen as I move forward here. So I'm never really losing the angle on the kitchen. Just the height here. As you keep going through and editing your walkthrough, don't be afraid to be able to walk through your house backwards to see spots and areas, because going through a door backwards could clearly give you a nice way for you to be able to see what the room looks like from a different view. Make sure you can also come in the different views, adjust the height where you're looking. So you might want to be able to look down, you might want to look up to see different views, and let the head go up and down, sort of as if you're walking through the house. Most of the time as you walk through a house, you look down so that you're not going to trip over something. And of course, then once you get through a doorway, you might be then inclined to spin forward. Spinning forward sometimes can be a quick move to do that. So you don't want to do it too fast or too quick that you create some type of vertigo for the person viewing this particular file. So we're going to go ahead and just work our way out this back door here onto the deck. And as I head out the back door, I'm going to turn my view here so that I can see the house and then spin back around. So I'm actually looking back at the house here when I finish up my walkthrough. So this is a very quick rendition of what this walkthrough is going to look like. Now let's go back here to the front and just go ahead and do a quick play through this. Oh, actually, let me stop that. I want to play, then I can see what I'm actually doing in this window. We'll go ahead and play in this window. Really quick run through this house and walk through. What we'll do is we'll talk about how to slow that down because it was a very quick run through, and you really do want to be able to slow it down and show what this is going to look like a little bit better and refine this walkthrough later on. All right, so I hope this helps get you started with playing around with walkthroughs, and we'll get into some more refinements a little bit later.